Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Green World Investor, one-stop shop for personal finance needs for beginners. I am Sneha and the topic for today's discussion is about REIT investing. Yes, in this topic we will discuss about what REITs are, what are its advantages when compared to investing in a real estate property, how did it came into being, what are the different REIT options of investing in India, should we do it, we shouldn't do it. So we will take into account the different pros and cons of REIT investing. So let's begin the video. So REIT investing, what do we mean by REIT? REIT or Real Estate Investment Trust is a relatively new area of investment in India, and it was approved by an SM regulation of SEBI a decade ago. So, as the name suggests, REIT deals with investments in the real estate sector, and it is a very it was launched way back in the US in 1960s, though it is relatively new in India. So, what does REIT do? So, when we compare investing into a real estate with that of REITs are more convenient and are an easier and better way for anyone who is beginning to start their investment journey in the real estate space. Why so? Because REITs allow the investors to get a small part of ownership in large ticket size properties. Like if we talk about the different property spaces in India, we have the malls, we have commercial spaces, we have supermarkets, we have residential apartments. So instead of going ahead and investing directly into a property or an office space or a commercial, a shop or anything, you can buy shares of REIT. Yes, you can easily buy them because they trade like normal shares in the exchanges. So you can just go ahead and buy them. And now by buying, what will you be entitled to? So you will get a part ownership of those large, commercial or residential properties. So इंस्टेड ऑफ गेटिंग 100% ओनरशिप, अगर आपने एक दुकान या घर ली होती, तो इंस्टेड ऑफ गेटिंग द होल थिंग, उसके अंदर इतने यू हैव टू स्टडी द डिफरेंट क्लॉजेस ऑफ गेटिंग इनटू अ रियल एस्टेट प्रॉपर्टी इन्वेस्टमेंट, तो वो सब हैसल से बचने के लिए यू कैन स्टार्ट योर इन्वेस्टमेंट जर्नी through an REIT. It's very convenient, it's very easy, and it will give you the required exposure in your portfolio to the real estate sector. सो एज आई मेंशनड, आप इसको इजीली थ्रू स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, आप जैसे शेयर्स खरीदते हो आप वैसे REITs के शेयर्स ले सकते हो, एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो स्टडी देयर परफॉर्मेंस इन इंडिया. सो इन इंडिया अभी अगर हम बात करें तो देर आर थ्री मेन players in this space. It is Embassy, MINDSPACE and Brookfield. Now, how does this REIT work? Let us understand the basic facts about an REIT. So an REIT will distribute 90% of its income as dividends to investors. So it offers a very good income yield for the investors. क्योंकि REITs they have this they are bounded by law to distribute at least 90% of their income as dividends to the investors. क्यों? बिकॉज ये जिसमें इन्वेस्ट करते हैं प्रॉपर्टीज में, लाइक कमर्शियल और रेसिडेंशियल और शॉप्स और office space, malls, so all these places are high income generating places, because these REITs will get most of their income as rents from these properties. तो इसीलिए इनका जो visibility है, and if they invest, and most of these REITs will invest in good tenants, जो भी इनके occupiers हैं इन properties में, they ये बहुत research करते हैं. So tenants having a good reputation, a good standing in the Indian market, तो वैसे में ये invest करते हैं. So this will give you an assurity कि जो REITs के income है वो as rents उनको मिलते रहेंगे, और वो अपने इन्वेस्टर्स को एटलीस्ट 90% एज डिविडेंड देते रहेंगे. तो इससे इन्वेस्टर्स की इनकम यील्ड काफी स्ट्रांग हो जाती है. अब दूसरा फैक्ट REITs का ये है कि जो उनका 80% उनके इन्वेस्टमेंट्स होते हैं, दे आर इन हाई इनकम जनरेटिंग प्रॉपर्टीज. at least 80% are invested into high income generating properties, जैसे I have mentioned, good residential spaces, office spaces, malls, supermarket, etc., etc. And last but not the least, they will never invest more than 10% of their their total funds into under constructed properties. So इससे क्या होता है कि योर इनकम जनरेशन इज रेगुलर. अगर आप अंडर कंस्ट्रक्टेड प्रॉपर्टीज में ही सारा पैसा डाल दोगे तो फिर आपको इनकम कैसे मिलेगी? So all these points makes an REIT a very lucrative investment option for any person who's starting his or her journey in a real estate space. So before investing into an REIT, you need to do your due diligence. जैसे आप शेयर्स में इन्वेस्ट करने के पहले कंपनी की स्टोरी पढ़ते हो, रिसर्च करते हो, उसकी कैसी परफॉर्मेंस रही है पास्ट में, आगे फ्यूचर अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या है, उसी तरह फॉर REIT you need to take care of some points which are really important. So what are they? So number one, you should see how is the credibility of the sponsors like Embassy or Brookfield. जैसे अभी हमने बात की जो 3 major players हैं इंडियन मार्केट में, Embassy, MINDSPACE और Brookfield, they have given good returns over the past few years. So you should study all those, how they have performed in the past few years. Then you should see what is the dividend yield that the REIT is offering you. Is it lucrative enough for you? Then you should check what are the quality of properties in which they are investing, who are the tenants in those properties, what is the type of property in which they have invested in. Is it majorly residential, commercial, office space? Ideally it should be nicely diversified across all these sectors. So and the lease term, कि आपने जब इन्वेस्ट किया है, how many years are remaining in the lease term, क्योंकि ऐसा हो कि आप अंदर जा रहे हो, इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, and then the lease term of some like lucrative properties coming to an end, so तब आपको बड़ा नुकसान हो सकता है. So all these things you should be well aware of before you are planning to invest into an REIT. So do your due diligence perfectly well, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत माथापच्ची नहीं. ये 3-4 पॉइंट्स अगर आपने कवर कर लिए अच्छे से, अगर आपको कॉन्फिडेंस आ रहा है, तो you can go ahead. Why? Because there are many pros of investing into an REIT, as we have already mentioned. You can easily trade them in the share market because they are very liquid, as they are regulated, and also they provide you the protection from any fraud or scam that is so prevalent in the Indian real estate sector. ऑल्सो अगर आप देखें तो रियल एस्टेट में घुसने के लिए आपको एक बहुत लार्ज सम ऑफ मनी चाहिए, इन करोर्स यू नीड टू इन्वेस्ट. मगर इन REIT you can easily go and buy just like a unit of shares that you buy on a stock exchange. So for any beginner who is starting his or her real estate journey, REIT is very lucrative, very convenient, very easy, and it will give you a feel of how to invest in real estate. आपको when you're invested, I'm sure you will study the overall real estate space in India. आपको markets की आदत होगी कि क्या हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है, what are the major properties, what is happening in the space. So then maybe you can go ahead and invest in a property or whatever you're interested in. But to begin, I would suggest you should start with a small allocation towards these REITs after doing your due diligence. अगर हम बात करें, अब तो हमने बात कर ली कन्वीनियंस और इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट्स. नाउ लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट द डिफरेंट cons of investing into an REIT. It's always not as rosy. कुछ ना कुछ तो हर सिक्के के दो पहलू होते हैं. So now let's focus on the cons of an REIT. So majorly taxation part is very complex in case of an REIT when compared to other markets in India. एंड ऑल्सो जो अकाउंटिंग पार्ट है वो भी बहुत ही कम्बरसम और रिजिड है. मतलब इट्स डिफिकल्ट फॉर अ नॉर्मल पर्सन टू गो एंड अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, बिकॉज उनके जो कैपिटल गेन्स पार्ट है या डिविडेंड पार्ट है या लोन रीपेमेंट, लोन अमाउंट का जो भी पोर्शन होता है, दे आर need to be accounted separately. So it is very difficult for a layman to understand what is happening in their books. So taxation and accounting is one part. Number two is that REITs are a steady income generating source. So अगर आप बहुत aggressive हैं कि आपको growth चाहिए अपने portfolio में, So वो आप REIT से expect नहीं कर सकते हो, because they will give you a steady source of income and not an income that will grow over the years. And अगर हम उसके थर्ड कॉन की बात करें, तो जैसे आप रियल एस्टेट बाय करने के लिए आप डेट की मदद ले सकते हो. You can use some amount of leverage which is not available in case of investing into an REIT. So these were the different a very short video on giving you a glimpse into the REIT investing space. If you are interested, we can do a detailed video. इसमें हमने खाली basic समझा, और हमने देखा कि what are the pros and cons, what you should be knowing before investing into the REIT space. तो जैसे REITs होता है वैसे InvITs भी होता है. So what do? They जैसे REIT का underlying asset is real estate, वैसे ही InvITs के लिए it's the infrastructure sector. So we will cover the InvITs part later in some another other video. Till now this was all from REITs. I really wish जैसे हमारे इंडिया में REITs mature होंगे, you will get to see REITs focusing on this different subsectors of real estate, जैसे pure residential हो गया, या pure office हो गया, या फिर आपके senior citizen housing scheme में हो गया, larger allocation to these subsectors of real estate. So if you're interested, आप वैसे देख सकते हो. So in India, this REIT scene has just started, I think 4-5 years back. But now, as the market matures, you will be seeing more flavors to it. So stay tuned into the REIT investing, and I really urge for investors to have a good asset allocation in their portfolio. My viewers should have a nice asset allocation, or real estate forms a major part of one's investment journey. So you can take baby steps through REITs before plunging into the real estate market. So I have also made another video on why you should invest in real estate going into 2023, and why this sector is supposed to do good in this year. So see, I've shared the link for the same in the description box. Go check it out. I hope you like my video. Please like the channel, subscribe to my channel, and share it with others. And I hope to see you again. Bye and have a nice day.